Welcome to my world, everyone. And this is Like It or Not with Michael Lane. And Michael Lane is who I be. Don't forget to check out my show on smacktongue.com every Tuesday through Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. All right? Smacktongue.com. Get it? Smack Tongue Radio. Check it out, man. I was just thinking, man. I was just sitting back and thinking. And I've never talked like this before. I've never, ever spoke in this tone before. But there's a reason, because I'm a man of results. I sat back and I thought about it. Yes, 2014 is the year of restoration. Yes, I'm praying for Brenda Leonard. Shout out to my girl Brenda Leonard. Brenda Leonard, who is running for U.S. Senate, Tennessee. Please represent and vote for this woman. I think about so many people. Glow Smith. I think about so many people. But I'm still bothered. I'm still worried. Because America is in such a bad position. And the reason why it's in such a bad position is because of what we're doing. We're putting our trust in man. When I sat back and I thought about how Thad Cochran won his primary after playing the same nasty, dirty game that Democrats played. After throwing out the race card, saying that blacks, you're going to lose your rights to be dependent on welfare. You're going to lose all these things that you've been depending on welfare on us for. You're going to lose that. And the black people illegally crossed over and voted for Cochran. Now, that wasn't enough, though. It wasn't enough. If those people alone voted for Cochran, he wouldn't have won. It was the voters. I have so many people that come to me and they talk to me about, they use the term libtards. And they constantly say libtards. Look, this is the problem. They talk about libtards and they talk about how stupid people are, and they turn around and they vote for Thad Cochran. They turn around and they vote for Speaker Boehner. They turn around and they vote for Lindsey Graham. They turn around and vote for Mitch McConnell. This is what happened. This is what made me sit down and say, wait a minute. America is going down not just because of liberals. America is going down because of so-called conservatives. Because the voters are just about as much rhinos as these idiots that I just mentioned. I'm tired of putting my trust in people. I am not going to put my trust in people anymore. And I want you all to join me. America, this is the problem. Because look at the results. Look at what's going on now. Look at the border situation. Look at the job situation. Look at this president who is purposely trying to destroy the country by usurping the Constitution, by making everything criminal. Make criminal things right. The IRS, Benghazi, the VA situation. I can go on and on and on with the felonies, not scandals, but felonies. And you think about how people are caught up in the color of skin. And they say, well, it's a black thing, brother. And not looking at what's going on. Not looking at what's really going on. And not looking at this demonic movement, which is the Liberal Party. And you got rhinos that's sitting back, allowing that to happen, just as long as they take under the table deals, as long as they make a lot of money to take their kids through school and do whatever they do. Every bill's passed has a bunch of pork spending. And that extra money that's brought in that has nothing to do with the bill is for their families. It's for their pocketbooks. It's under the table stuff. I'm not trusting none of y'all no more, man. I thought you all had sense. I'm not talking about my common sense people. I'm not talking about the people that got sense. I'm not talking to them, but it's a very few of them. But this time, I want everybody. Think about it. Look at the situation in America. Allah's still here. Buddha's still here. And I'm not disrespecting anybody, but think about it. Buddha didn't get kicked out of America. Allah didn't get kicked out of America. They're living right here. Who's kicked out? Jesus. Jesus is kicked out. Jesus was kicked out of schools. Jesus was kicked out of the universities. Jesus is kicked out of television. Jesus is kicked out of movies. Jesus is kicked out of government. And Jesus is kicked out of this country. And Jesus is definitely kicked out of the church. Because now it's nothing but a political hotbed for liberalism. We need Jesus. And I want everybody in America. See, this is what I'm going to do. I'm getting my family together. I'm going to hold their hands. And if I can't say nothing but Jesus, I'm going to say it. Because we need Jesus to come back in America. We need Jesus to come. I'm not putting my trust in none of these rhino voters. I'm not putting these trust in people call themselves conservatives and American lovers, but yet they stick up for these rhinos. They continue to vote for these rhinos. It's too many people that are dumb and not free. We need freedom back in America. Jesus has that freedom. He must have that freedom. Because every other thing is here. Every other people that worships a certain God is here. Jehovah and Jesus is out the door. And look at where we're at now. We're about to turn into a third world country. America needs Jesus. I'm not going to put my trust in voters. I'm not going to put my trust in politicians. Everybody's into big names. Just like they go to church. I want to see preachers with a big name. I want just big names. Paula White and all these other people. Just as long as you have the big names. But what are they talking about? Everybody's lost in the preacher and not in Jesus. Everybody's lost in the politicians, the big names, and not in the Constitution. We need Jesus. And I know there's a lot of people right now that are turning into, they're shrinking like the Wicked Witch of the West. Every time I say Jesus, 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 I challenge everybody. We need Jesus. We gave everything else a try. We kicked Jesus out the back door, out of the window, and Jesus said, look, I'm not going to dwell in any place that don't want me. I'm not dwelling here. America has lost its way. You have people who call themselves Christians, who call themselves Christian conservatives, and they are looking to a Mitch McConnell instead of Jesus. Because if you look to Jesus, Jesus gives you sense to not vote back in these people. Somebody told me they were complaining, well, you know, Congress is sitting back and letting them, America is not going to be taken back because you keep voting in these same people that are letting Obama do and have his way. Republicans for years sat back and let liberalism infiltrate universities, liberalism infiltrate churches. They infiltrated everything. And now it's cool to abort kids. Now it's cool to treat homosexuality like a race. And nothing else matters but homosexuality. Jesus is out of the picture. This is America, what you see, and it's only going to get worse. Because Jesus is not in America. We need to bring Jesus back. And how you do it, we need, sometimes it only takes the prayers of a few. And sometimes you just you don't have to do anything fancy. All you got to do is gather your family around or be by yourself. Get in your prayer closet. Get into your room, your bedroom, your even your bathroom. I don't care if you're even outside, sitting up, even if you're on your job right now. And if you could just say, you don't even have to close your eyes or nothing like that. Just say something. You know, Jesus knows you're talking to him. And just say, Jesus, America has fallen on her knees. And America's about to fall flat on her face. Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for putting my trust in politicians. I'm sorry for putting my trust in preachers. I'm sorry for putting my trust in pastors. I'm sorry for putting my trust in family members. I'm sorry for putting my trust in friends. And I'm not putting my trust in you. I'm sorry for letting every other God in. And I'm sorry for serving for other guys instead of you. Jesus, we need you. Jesus, I need you. Jesus, America needs you. Put some sense in our heads. Please, Jesus, put some sense in our head. And if you can't even think of that to say, just say Jesus. Sometimes you just gonna have to just call his name. I challenge everybody. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you're a Buddhist, because we have every other God up in this country and nothing's happening right. Try Jesus at least for one day. Just say Jesus, because America is falling. America is failing because we have a foreigner in the White House and we're talking about color of skin and not the Savior, not what's right, not what's true. We need to call on Jesus. Call on Jesus. I dare you. I want everybody to, if you can't do it with your family members, do it by yourself. Gather a couple of friends. Hold hands. Trust and agree. Bring Jesus back into America. Bring him back in the fold. Because Jesus can turn around and change these people's mind. Only Jesus. Only Jesus. Give him a try. That's all we're going to have to do. Just give him a try. I tried everything else. It ain't working. Give Jesus a try. America needs Jesus. 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 I don't care how mad y'all get at me. Jesus. We need Jesus. I prefer Jesus before a FEMA camp. I prefer Jesus over a politician. I prefer Jesus over everybody. It's got to go down like that now. Because we tried everything else and everything failed. Look at where we're at now. Bring Jesus back. America, bring Jesus back. We need Jesus. And if anybody try to say, well, you're pouring it all up in my face, then stop with the parades then. Stop with the gay parade. Stop with this and stop throwing all this in the face. Stop having people lose their jobs because they have a different point of view then. Jesus. Right now, Satan is running it. Satan is ruling. He's taking over. And this is the results we're getting so far. Because it's going to get a heck of a lot worse. Jesus. If you can't find another word, if you can't find a word to say, sometimes you just got to moan Jesus. Whatever it takes. And ask Jesus to put sense into people's heads. Because sometimes, hey, you may have your vote. May have your mind to put in another rhino in office. But when you go up in that voting booth, Jesus can come in and move. Jesus can move you. Jesus can move that person and change that person's mind and say, maybe let's get this person to try. Somebody can change that person's mind that is racist, is a racist liberal Democrat, that is idiotic and stupid and brainwashed. Jesus can come in. Oh, come on now. America needs Jesus. America needs Jesus. Give him a try. Because other things ain't working. Let's be about results. That's what I'm about. Now, if nothing happens, okay, fine. But believe me, I have a strong feeling it ain't gonna go down like that. Call on Jesus. That's what America needs. Like it or not.